You know, our history is just filled with these puzzles that time hasn't managed to solve. We're talking about secrets written in languages that nobody can read, structures so massive they defy what we thought was possible, and just disappearances that leave absolutely no trace. These are the kinds of mysteries that make you question everything you think you know about our past.
So, you really have to ask yourself, right? Are all these strange things, these incredible artifacts and disappearances, are they just moments where we've gotten the story wrong? Just misinterpretations?
Or are they clues, hints of a truth that's so much bigger, a history so completely different from what we learn in school that maybe we're just not ready to understand it yet?
So let's start our journey with mysteries that are hiding right in front of us, locked away in symbols and scripts that, so far, have refused to give up their secrets. Okay, take a look at this. This is the Voynich manuscript. We've dated it all the way back to the early 1400s. Its 240 pages are packed with drawings of plants that don't exist, these really bizarre astrological charts, and a language that has stumped the best codebreakers on the planet for more than a century. Get this, even today's most powerful AI can't make heads or tails of a single word. So what is this thing? Well, you've got two main camps. One side says it's a real artifact from some lost civilization, a little window into a world we've completely forgotten. The other side? They say it's just an incredibly clever medieval hoax made to trick some rich collector. But here's the problem with the hoax theory. The script is just too complex. It actually follows real linguistic rules, which suggests it's a genuine language, not just random scribbles. All right, for our next mystery, we're going to head to the dry plains of Peru. I want you to imagine you're thousands of feet up in a plane, looking down on the desert, and as you look out, you see something that just shouldn't be there. These are the Nazca lines. We're talking about over 300 gigantic drawings carved right into the desert floor. You've got a massive hummingbird, a spider, a monkey. Some of these are hundreds of feet long. Now, if you're standing on the ground, they look like nothing, just shallow lines in the dirt. But from way up in the sky, they create this absolutely breathtaking art gallery. And here's the real kicker. The Nazca civilization, the people who made these between 200 BCE and 600 CE, they had no way of seeing their own work. I mean, no planes, no drones, not even any tall mountains nearby to get a good view. So you have to wonder, if they couldn't see them, who were they for? Okay, so we've seen codes we can't read. Now let's talk about structures we just can't explain. These are feats of ancient engineering that just completely challenge what we think we know about the past. For 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has been standing there in the desert. It's built from over 2 million stone blocks, and for almost 4,000 years, it was the tallest thing on the entire planet. And guess what? It's still full of secrets. Yup. In 2017, scientists used this new technology that can basically see through stone, and they found a massive, hidden chamber deep inside the pyramid. It's as big as a commercial airliner, and we have absolutely no idea what it's for. Is it some pharaoh's secret tomb? A weird mistake in construction? Or is it something else entirely? Okay, now let's jump over to the most remote inhabited island on the planet, Easter Island. This is where you find the Moai, these giant stone statues. Some of them weigh up to 80 tons. That's like stacking 40 cars on top of each other. The ancient Rapa Nui people carved these massive things from a single quarry and then somehow moved them for miles across rugged volcanic terrain. And what did they use? Stone tools, wood, and rope. That's it. People have tried to recreate this today, and it's incredibly difficult, which just makes what they did even more mind-blowing. So how in the world did they do it? The local legend has this really simple and honestly kind of chilling explanation. They say the statues walked. Now, maybe that's just a poetic myth, but it perfectly captures the deep, deep mystery of how these giants ended up standing guard all over the island. All right, our journey now brings us to artifacts that just don't fit the timeline of history. They're so advanced for their era that they're often called out-of-place artifacts. Picture this, it's 1901. Divers are exploring a Roman shipwreck off the coast of Greece, and they find this corroded lump of bronze. Well, that lump turned out to be this, the Antikythera mechanism. It's a 2,000-year-old astronomical computer.
With over 30 intricate bronze gears, it could predict solar eclipses, track the planets, and even figure out the dates of the Olympic Games.
To put this into perspective, technology with this level of sophistication wouldn't be seen again for another 1,500 years, when the first complex clocks started showing up in medieval Europe. So that leaves a huge question. Where did this incredible technology come from, and why did it just vanish for so long? From a mechanical mystery, let's turn to a spiritual one. This is the Shroud of Turin. It's a centuries-old linen cloth with the faint, haunting image of a crucified man on it. For millions of people, this is the actual burial cloth of Jesus Christ. The wounds seem to perfectly match the biblical accounts. Marks from nails, a whip, a crown of thorns, it's all there. But, of course, science has something to say about it. Back in 1988, carbon dating tests concluded the cloth was from the Middle Ages, which would make it a very clever medieval fake. Case closed, right? Well, not so fast. Other scientists fired back, arguing that the sample they tested was from a corner of the cloth that was repaired in the Middle Ages, so the result was contaminated. The debate between faith and science is still raging, and the image on that cloth remains a total mystery.
For our final section, we're going to a place on the map where the mystery isn't about what's been found, but what's been lost forever.
You know what I'm talking about. The Bermuda Triangle. It's this infamous stretch of the Atlantic Ocean between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. For decades, it's had this reputation as a place where ships and planes just vanish. And the legends are built on some truly baffling real-life cases. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a huge Navy ship with over 300 people on board, just disappeared. No SOS, nothing. Then, in 1945, Flight 19, a squadron of 5 Navy bombers, vanished during a routine training mission. And the rescue plane sent to find them, it vanished too. You hear all kinds of theories: rogue waves, weird magnetic fields, methane gas eruptions from the seafloor, and of course, alien abduction. But it's also true that many scientists and the U.S. Coast Guard say there's no real mystery here at all, and that these disappearances can all be explained by bad weather and human error. Still, for a lot of people, the legend of the triangle is very much alive.
So, from a book that no one can read, to structures that no one can figure out how to build, to a spot on the ocean that seems to just erase things from existence, all these puzzles remind us that our history is way more complicated than we think. And it leaves you with this one big, lingering question: what other secrets are still out there, just waiting to be found?